Hi guys! So today I'll be talking about my journey, how deleting Instagram changed my life for the better. And the reason why I stopped using it from 4 months ago, I deleted it from my phone, was I realized I experienced some effects on my mental health and on my everyday life, and I wanted to just experiment to see how my entire being will become after deleting Instagram, because it was such a huge part of my life for so many years. I started social media at a very young age. I was, I think, pretty obsessed with Instagram, and it was a huge part of my life. I love connecting with people, I love sharing joy, I love spreading positivity, I love talking about things, and I'm just a very talkative person and extrovert by nature. So I started Instagram when I was in, I think, high school, and I wasn't really taking it very seriously back then. But ever since I was in my 20s, I think, beginning of my 20s, I got very, very attached to my Instagram account, and I think that I share a lot of myself on that platform, and I could find a sense of belonging over there because I was paid at a point because I was an influencer on my Instagram account. I would literally have my day and mood affected by things like how many people like my photos, how many people are watching my story, and I would get very anxious if I'm not performing so well on my photos anymore. And I feel like it is now something that I don't want to let control my day or even my mental health, because it was very torturing, because I would constantly compare myself with others and be like, oh, am I not good enough now? Did I grow fatter? Just because my photos weren't being taken very, very well at some point, I would be like, I need to probably glow up, and I probably need to make changes to myself to look better. My happiness will be measured on very external things when I was using that app, just because I was also very blessed that I had a pretty good following on my Instagram. I wouldn't say I'm huge, I'm definitely not huge, I'm a small influencer, but indeed there were girls who were messaging me saying how I was their role model, how I made their day better, and things like that. And sometimes when I was going out, I would have people approach me and be like, oh, I follow you on Instagram, I love your style, blah blah blah. So that made me very happy, and I was also very, very grateful that this whole experience also, earned me a lot of, money, connections, and all these things. But the problem was with myself. The problem was how I relied on things like that, and I made it a habit that I would only be satisfied or fulfilled when I keep progressively seeing more numbers, and I don't want numbers to define the happiness in my life. So that was the first thing that I realized. And second of all, I was constantly measuring up to trends, and I was constantly very stressed to keep up with trends, just because all I see on my Instagram is just like these facets of things that are probably very picture perfect, or things that people only choose to show, which are most of the time beautiful things. And I actually tried making a lot of voices on my Instagram and to talk about and to embrace authenticity, but it was pretty contradictory because I was very conflicting with myself. A part of me wanted to show that Instagram could be used as something to only share light and positivity, but the other side of me was actually struggling deep down, because it was very hard to pull myself out of toxic cycles like comparison and constantly thinking I'm not good enough, just because I'm kind of exposing myself to everyone's different lives and everyone's different identities. I feel like I'm just gonna admit that a part of me is not strong enough to handle this whole package that it comes with, kind of. And I know that there are people who do it very well, but just not me at this point. So I decided to, you know what, detox myself and see what would happen. And I didn't regret at all, even though it was pretty tough for me at first because I'm just so used to the whole Instagram game, which a lot of you guys may know if you use it. I think that the biggest thing that it took away from my life was appreciating the little things in real life. A part of it also became better because I was able to share it with more people, but a part of it also became more fragile just because I had this perception that I needed to get this affirmation from people, or I needed to show people how happy I was to prove that I'm happy, which kind of at the end of the day kind of defeats the whole purpose already. I feel like it's very hard to have that very healthy balance, you know. So now I'm just appreciating little things more. I'm just a lot more fulfilled, and I am able to observe my feelings and my emotions a lot more, just because on my Instagram back then, I remember how when I used to not feel very good, I used to have a lot of crazy emotions. I would kind of use Instagram as an escape route because it was very easy for me to numb my senses. As long as I post another news story, I get a new job, or I text people and connect with people, it would kind of momentarily numb my pain. And now that I don't have such a platform anymore, I can only deal with it, and it has really made me grow a lot emotionally, even though I'm still facing a lot of demons every day. I always like to emphasize on my channel that making videos like this don't mean that I'm entirely healed, because I know that growing sometimes can be a very daunting thing to do. It's not easy, it's painful, growth is painful, but I also want to tell you guys that it is entirely possible to embrace the pain. And I'm not saying that Instagram cannot be a platform where there is another side of it, but like I mentioned, one side of it was amazing, but I feel like I kind of have to compensate even more just to be on that app for now. I may go back to the app someday when I see the need for it, but for now I don't see myself doing that. I just really wanted to talk about my journey and how it made me more real and appreciate the life that I already have without that social media part of it. And I hope that in my journey I always try to tell people happiness really comes from within, not outside. We may think that we need many things to be happy, but you honestly only need yourself to be happy. And in order to make yourself happy, you have to have a high level of awareness and observe what you're doing in your life, because a lot of times we're not even looking at ourselves and we don't even know what truly makes us happy. So we think that we are so immune to things, or we are so reliant on things to make us happy, when at the end of the day it comes down to you and your mental health. If you are happy on the inside, if you are fulfilled, you are definitely gonna create a happy life out of your own inner self, which is why I decided to work on this self-growth journey. It is the only thing that has kept me sane in my life, because I was very depressed, I was very unhappy, and I was very sad. But now being able to make something out of that journey really just reminds me and tells me that I'm going to keep going. And even though it's gonna be tough, it's gonna be hard, but at least I know that it's worth it, because I'm growing in the process, and I can also share this journey with people and help people inspire a version of themselves that they never thought could be possible. And that is what I'm here for, to shine some light and to constantly self-check and keep myself on track to slowly but surely be more healed, be more happy, find more meaning out of my life, because I know that life is so much more than we know, and I'm constantly open to more possibilities and more growth. So I love to connect with you guys in my comments. Do share with me anything that you want, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.